another episode of The Biggest Transformation. We're about ready to hop on with the cast, get our weigh-ins done. We have been doing The Biggest Transformation for 6 full weeks. So we're going to see how much they lost this last week, where they're at, who's in the lead, because this is a competition. These 7 people are competing to see who will be the season 1 winner of The Biggest Transformation. We're going to see who's in the lead, who's made up some ground, all of those fun things. And I got to tell you, the cast during the week, some of the things you don't get to see, they are a trash talking bunch of people. The biggest thing they always try to do is they try to convince the other people to go eat things. They'll try to convince each other to eat pizzas and candy and birthday cake. And it is like, sometimes I just sit there and listen and think, listen to these trash talkers. But it's all in good fun. At the end of the day, I know that there has been a bond created between this group of people. And I know even for you, for some of you watching it, to hear some of your messages about how you love this cast and you've just related to them so much. I absolutely love hearing your messages. So thank you for sending them in. Thank you for those of you that already joined our community. You've shared the message, you've hit the like button. It really means the world to them. And so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the weigh-ins and see how they did last week.
What's going on today, guys? It's weigh-in time. Anybody excited for weigh-ins today?
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, Judy, we're up, girlfriend.
Okay. $225.2.
25.2. Awesome job. All right, Karen, you are up.
Okay, so let me. Trying not to show my underwear, guys.
Karen is
184. On the body.
184. Good job. Peggy. Peggy.
151.2.
Awesome job. Okay, Andy, you're up next.
$214.8.
Holy guacamole, Andy, bringing the heat this week. 214.8.
Oh, the plan.
Ashley. Awesome job. And then next we have Denise. Denise. 270.76. And last but not least, Shane, let me unmute you. $338.6.
Okay, drum roll. After 6 full weeks, here is where we stand in the quest to become the winner of season 1 of The Biggest Transformation. In first place, with 34 pounds lost, 12.1% of their body fat, is Karen. Congratulations. Second place, Andy, with 35.8 pounds lost, 11.6% of your body fat. Freaking congratulations. Third place, Shane, 10.2 pounds lost. I'm sorry, 48 pounds lost, 10.2% of body fat lost. In fourth place, we have Denise, 25 pounds lost since we started, 8.2% of your body mass. You have lost 8%. In fifth place, with 19.8 pounds lost, 7.5% of your body mass, your body fat lost. Peggy in fifth place, congratulations. Sixth place, we have Ashley, 20.2 pounds lost, 6.7% of your body is completely gone. Almost 7%, girl. And in seventh place, Judy with a good loss this week. Congratulations, girl. 16.6 pounds lost, 5.1% of your body fat completely gone, completely lost. So proud of you. So that is where we stand after 6 weeks. Total as a group, 199.4 pounds lost. Y'all just couldn't lose another 0.6 pounds. Good job. We were like this close to the 200 pound mark. That's okay. I know we'll hit it next week. But guys, 199.4 pounds lost in the past 6 weeks. Freaking incredible. Shane, you have lost 48 pounds since we started. You were in the 330s, brother. Like, Ashley, you are 16.2 pounds away from Wonderland. How crazy is that? Karen, approaching the 170s, getting in the lower 180s. Andy, I mean, 214, brother. Like, you're gonna be in the single digit 200s before we know it. So anyway, and Peggy, creeping up on the 140s. So proud of all of you. 199.4 pounds lost. So awesome. Congratulations.
Hey, Andy, I'm a little upset. You officially just went under my weight.
Oh,
Really,
sorry about that.
that's okay. I'm glad I was muted because I just screamed out. I'm like, no! And he's like, what? And I'm like, Andy weighs less than me. So I'm coming for you. It ain't going to last
Come
long.
and get me. I hope you do.
She's a woman of her word.
Do it.
Is.
For real.
Yeah, it definitely is going to mess with me. I'm going to crush him this week.
Do it. It'll give you some goals.
Yes, absolutely. Wait till your husband's picking you up and slinging you around the house, Ashley.
I'm
Wait.
ready for it, girl. I'm here for it.
I know, but it feels very weird. I'll just tell you. Like, I can remember the first Jackie would pick me up and then he'd carry me up the stairs. And I'm like, don't hurt yourself. And he's like, are you kidding me? And I was like, okay, no, go ahead. Oh, anyway.
Awesome.
Job last week. Really awesome job last week. So what I want to chit chat about this week before we get into chit chatting with you is along this journey, along this health journey, weight loss journey, whatever it is for you, everybody's different. Some people are after a certain size, a certain weight, a certain health. And again, whatever bait is on the end of your hook is your bait. It's not bad bait, it's your bait. And whenever God has to bait the hook with, he will. And so along this journey, unfortunately, sometimes I wish we could be on an island by ourselves and nobody else was around because we have to deal with other people. And in the beginning, when we start losing weight, you know, sometimes we have support, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we have people that say things like, oh, really? You're doing that? Well, have you ever thought about this? Or have you ever thought about that? Or what if you did this? Or what if you did that? And it never seems a lot of times like people have opinions when we're gaining weight. Like nobody ever came up to me and said, honey, put down the taco. You know, nobody ever wanted to be loudmouth to my face when I was gaining weight. But all of a sudden I started losing weight and it was like, oh, you know, are you sure that's going to work? What about this? Or have you thought about that? Or so you're going to be dealing with other people's opinions throughout the entire journey. And I want to cover this week because I want you to be equipped with how to handle this before you have to handle it. And I had to deal with this much sooner than I ever thought I did. So I started at 288 pounds. And by the time I got to the 2 teens, I was dealing with this. Now, mind you, at 5'4", when you're in the 2 teens, 210 to 219, you're still not a small person. Are you? Like, that's still not a small person. But I started dealing with that at that point in time. So First and foremost, you have to remember when people are giving opinions and suggestions, especially about health, especially unsolicited opinions, most of the time it's coming from their insecurities. Most of the time. Most of the time they're speaking through their lens, their eyeglasses, their lens, how they see things. And in most cases, if you just look at the statistics, more than 70% of the world struggles with their weight and doesn't want to. So when someone close to them or somebody they see starts losing weight unintentionally, of course, your journey is not about messing with anybody else, but it starts pressing on their insecurities. It starts pressing on their overweightness. It starts pressing on their failures. And so a lot of times people say snarky things, not because they're trying to hurt you. It really has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them. And so as you're journeying, you need to know first and foremost who you are and where you're going. Because if you know who you are and you know where you're going, those people won't sway you. But if you don't know who you are and you don't know where you're going, then those opinions, and opinions seem to be like ears nowadays. Everybody's got two. Everybody's got opinions. Everybody's got them about everything. Even if they don't have a stack in them, like you could be talking to somebody who's broke as a joke and you start talking about finances and lo and behold, they're going to produce an opinion on finances, even though they have no business talking about that. That's just my personal opinion. You have no business talking about something you don't have a track record in. Your opinion doesn't mean jack squat. Yes, you have one, but you shouldn't give it if you don't have a track record in that area. That's just my opinion. But like I said, my opinion can be totally FOS, full of you know what. And so when I was losing weight and I got into the 2 teens was the first time I heard anybody say to me, wow, you're getting really skinny. Are you going to keep going? Now, mind you, I was still obese. I was in the 2 teens. I was not small. And somebody actually said to me at that size, I was skinny. I hear people say it all the time to people and I want to freaking slug them. I've had several friends lose weight over the years. I've had clients that I work with. And I can remember this one client in particular. She had lost a significant amount of weight, but she still had more to go. So when somebody was looking at her before picture and comparing where she was at, yes, she looked great, but they would say things to her like, wow, you're so skinny. You look like a model. You should be on the catwalk. You should, oh my goodness, you are so tiny. This was someone that was still over 200 pounds. And this is what people are saying to her. And I remember standing there as her coach and I wanted to get a bat and just beat them. And I know they meant well. But what they didn't know is they were giving her permission to stop. Most overweight people that have struggled with their weight, one of our inner fears are, we don't ever want to get too small because we judge people that are too small. One of my inner things was, oh, I don't want to look like a 12-year-old girl. I used to have this nonsense come out of my mouth. Like what do 12-year-old girls look gross or something? Like this was my thing. I want to make sure I have curves. I want to make sure that when I get down there, I don't look unhealthy and like a stick figure. Like, why did I even go to that extreme? But I had this fear, this insecurity of me that I would go all the way and I would look like I had an eating disorder or something. And so I would, anyway. So when people would say things like that, I'd be like, well, yeah, I do look. And got to understand, when you come from a place of struggling with your weight, nobody had ever called me tiny, ever. So the first time somebody said it at 200 and some pounds, that fed everything that I ever wanted to hear. The fact was, though, it wasn't true. At 200 and some pounds, I won't tiny. And so this is where you have to find just 1 or 2 people that are going to give it to you straight. And for me, this was my husband. I went to him and I said, hey, would you, if I'm ever getting to a place where I'm getting into unhealthy territory, where I'm getting too skinny, unhealthy, if you've seen me do something that's unhealthy, will you please tell me? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. Guys, hear me on this. Every single person in my life, with the exception of my husband, everyone, and some of them love me to death. questioned how small I was getting. Every person, without exception, everyone, no exceptions. Don't you think you're getting too small? When are you going to stop? Gosh, your legs are so little. You got 20 more pounds to lose. Where are you going to lose that from? Well, where are you trying to get to? With that look on their face. Well, how much more do you want to lose? I mean, where are you trying to get to? Like, what's your goal? You know, looking like they just smelt a stinky fart. What's your goal? And again, these weren't people that were just trying to sabotage me. Yeah, some of them were, but some of them love me to death. And these were their reactions. If I didn't know where I was going. And now what's so funny is those same people are like, oh, you're not that small. And I'm not. I'm just a size 2. There are people much smaller than me. But it's so funny because people have gotten used to where I'm at. And most people that know me now would never look at me and be like, oh, she's so small. Because they know me. They've gotten used to me. They were comparing where I was at to where I used to be. But if I didn't know where I was going, I never would have went the full way. I would have let everybody else's comments. And what I will tell you is now, like even one of my best girlfriends, even my family that said things like that are like, yeah, I just couldn't see it. My best girlfriend is like, yeah, I was comparing where you were to the old you, and I couldn't see where you were going because you were so much smaller. But you were right. You were totally right, because I could see myself naked. I could see where there was still fluff. I could see where there was still places for me to lose. I could see all that stuff. They couldn't. And it was my journey, not theirs. And they were speaking to me through their insecurities, not through where I was going. The truth is, I didn't go all that way to only go all that way. I was going all that way to go all the way. And some of them meant well. But you've got to know where you're going. This is where your vision comes in, because there will be people that'll pop up, people that you love, people that are close to you, people talking behind your back. Oh, she's too skinny. Oh, she's going too far. Oh, do you think she's unhealthy? Oh, she probably never eats nothing. Anybody that's ever hung out with me absolutely freaking knows I can eat. Shane was on the boat with me on my last cruise, where we met up every night at the pizza joint. Every night we bumped into each other at the pizza joint. I'd go get my kids from the kids camp. We'd go down and get pizza. And Shane, on any of those nights, did you ever see me sit there and not eat anything? No, I ate pizza every freaking night and all the other things. But my point is, my job isn't to worry about what other people think about me. My job, because it's none of my business. What somebody else thinks of me is none of my business. Let them rob their own joy. Because if I start nosing around with what other people think about me or what other people are saying about me, it's none of my business. You know, one of the things Andy was saying in our last video is he said, listen, there was people in my life that ridiculed me for being overweight, and then I'd go lose weight, and then I got ridiculed for being too skinny. So some people, you just can't win. And so if you're walking around trying to lose weight for other people's approval, it's a no-win situation. And so you have to know this is where your vision is so freaking important. Why are you doing this, and what are you doing? And when you know those things, what everybody else thinks about it does not matter. And you want to know what? When you actually get on the other side of this and you get to your goal, people are eventually going to come around anyway. Sure, are there still people that might think I'm too skinny? Yeah, and what? I'm not. I'm healthy, and it just is what it is. And if they think I'm too skinny, that's their own issue, and that's their own deal, and I'll bless them and their own opinion in their own house. I don't let their opinion come into my house and steal my joy. If they have nothing better to do with their time than talk about me and how skinny I am, that's on them. They're robbing their own joy. I'm not going to let them come into my house and rob my joy. And so that's really important for you to know when you're on this journey.
You know, Peggy and I lost all this weight 10 years ago. I went from about where I am to 185. And remember, I told you I wanted to get to 190. And the reason was everybody told me at 185, oh my gosh, you're so skinny. Do you have cancer? What's going on with you? And it was like, I don't think I got one positive comment. they're like, you're a big guy, Andy. You shouldn't look that way. You look skinny. And then I look at the end at 185 is still heavy for 5'10". And yeah, so I don't think we probably maybe got 1 pound. I can't remember, but I don't remember. And they wanted me to get fat again. You're a big guy. You have big bones. You should be bigger. And that's why I was thinking, okay, maybe I shouldn't get down to whatever my height says I should be. So this is super helpful.
You're in good company. I'm telling you, Andy, when I was losing it, my husband was the only one. And you're talking about my best friends. My mom, who's on here, questioned it. Again, my mom wasn't trying to sabotage me, but she was comparing it to the morbidly obese Carmen she always knew. And here was her daughter that had lost all this weight. And she's like, you're already really small. What are you doing? And so, but now she sees me, and I guarantee she sees me and never thinks now, oh, she's too skinny. So yeah, that's awesome, Andy. And yeah.
I remember earlier in our marriage, we were trying like the Weight Watchers thing, and I failed miserably, but my wife succeeded a bit and lost some weight. And I could not believe the comments I heard, like her family and other people say about, oh, no, you're just too thin now. And I was like, seriously, guys? Like, she's healthy. She's eating fine. Like, oh my gosh. And I was just like appalled at all the stuff that came. It was just, meh.
All right, Karen, fitting into new clothes, any new health developments, any new clothing developments, any new like things that have progressed since losing all that weight so far?
Yeah. And I am able to shop in my closet again. And that is so exciting. I was looking at some clothes the other day, and I thought, oh my God, I don't need to buy any clothes because I have so many clothes that from when I never threw anything away or got rid of anything once I started gaining. So it has been a joy for me to go into my closet and say, I wonder if this fits, or I wonder if that fits. And it did. I tried on 2 pairs of pants yesterday that actually fit. And that was great. And there was no spillage or any, no fluff coming over the edge or anything like that. So that was just awesome. The other thing that I have noticed too is that my body, and I know you always spoke about this, but my body is just craving water. I mean, all the time. It's just got to have water. And from going, I mean, when you told us we had to drink a gallon of water when we started, which was hard, but now I actually crave it. I mean, I carry water with me everywhere, like probably most of us do, but yeah. So that, and then the other thing that I have noticed is just the group as a whole. Y'all have changed. We all have changed with our, just there's so much more positivity. I think that excitement, because we're all seeing results.
Okay. We have Peggy.
Since when I started gaining weight, I didn't buy any bigger clothes. So I couldn't fit into anything. I had 1 pair of pants that I could wear. And now those pants are big. And I remember a couple of times I've said there's a pair of jeans that I want to get into, and I put those on yesterday and they're big. So I've gotten into them and grown out of them. So that's exciting. So now I need to go find my box of smaller clothes and start trying things on. So
That's so awesome. You're doing incredible, Peggy. You have just been so consistent and so just like and to see your joy and your confidence be rebuilt and just like oozing with, yeah, I got this. Like, this is where I'm going. Like, it has been, I don't know if anybody else in the group has seen, but to see
you continue to get more confident as the weeks go on and just owning where you're going. And anyway, it's just
Mhm.
amazing to watch that inside of you.
It's new.
Okay, let's see.
Baby. All right, Judy.
Am I on mute? Am I unmuted? I would say working out now, I find it like a discipline, and I never wanted to work out before. Yeah, so I actually enjoy it. And I think I was on a low blood pressure, like 10 milligrams of lisinopril and 10 milligrams of a water pill, because my legs kind of swell up because I wasn't moving too much. And about 3 months ago, I was feeling better, so I cut it in half without the doctor saying it. And then I just went for my physical with that. Remember that skinny lady saying I was 128 pounds? Well, anyways, I cut it in half. Then the doctor called me back and said, all your numbers are really good. You should cut that pill in half. And I was like, I already did that to myself. So, but I'm still taking it, but I probably don't need it. So I guess I'll come clean with her, or I'll take myself off it. And I have a blood pressure cuff, and I'll take my blood pressure because I'm 99.9% sure I don't have high blood pressure.
So Andy, any changes
Okay.
with your clothes, your belts, any of that? Tell us about it.
Well, yeah, this shirt I have on right now, I grabbed it out of my closet. I'm like, oh, it's one of my son's shirts. It's a size smaller than or maybe it's even bigger than what they wear, but it's not my size. And I go, oh, heck, I'll put it on. So this shirt fits. It's not, so it's a size smaller than I usually wear. I have pants on right now that were too tight not long ago, and they're fitting. They're like brand new because I got them and they were too small. So yeah, I was like, where did these pants come? I just saw them the other day. And then the funniest story is I'm going to show you these are really cool boots. I used to be a Harley rider. I really miss it. I might be a Harley rider again, but I still like my Harley boots. So the reason I show you these boots is this is New Year's. Okay. We go to my son's house and we're eating like there's no tomorrow, drinking like, just it's New Year's. So I go to leave and I could barely get my boots on to go there. So, okay, now I'm 250 some pounds, which is heavy for me. And when I bend over, I can't breathe. So I'm trying to bend over and put these boots on. I'm panicking. I can't breathe. I'm falling over. Look at her. They're dying laughing at me.
So funny.
I couldn't, I was literally panicking. I'm like, I can't breathe. I'm like bending over and the air isn't working. And they're the only shoes I have. It's snowing. I can't go out home with no shoes on. It took me like 10 minutes to get these on. Okay, now, all right, Peggy, get the camera. Okay, hold on. There we go, look.
No
On.
socks,
No.
no nothing.
So anyhow, it's kind of weird. I didn't think my feet and legs got that fat, but my feet turned fat. And it's really cool that I can these are my favorite boots, that I can slip them on easily and I can breathe. That's the best part. I can look at this. I can breathe when I bend over. So, yeah, that was great. And that was just on New Year's. So it's been so fast.
Mhm.
Tell me about the drill. Tell me about the drill. You came on
Oh yeah,
with the
I'm
drill.
like work. I don't know. I'm at work or something.
Yeah,
And,
you were here.
oh, the drill.
Your pants.
Oh yeah. No, I was somewhere. My pants fell down, but nobody was around. I'm like, dang, my pants. So I just bought this belt. I don't know, 4 months ago, and I definitely was not on the last hole. Now I'm on. So I drilled 2 holes in my belt. I'm on the second hole, and I probably need to go buy a new belt because things gonna be like that long on the other end. But yeah, so I'm now on the second hole. So I went down to the last hole on the belt, which I wasn't on. Now I'm on my last drilled hole. Probably time for a new belt.
All right, Ashley, I'm coming to you, girlfriend. All right, girl, you are up.
So, well, first of all, my dad left me a ring with a guardian angel on it that he used to wear every day on his ring finger. And I always loved it on him. But then when he passed, I enjoyed wearing it as well on the same finger. But I will start working out. The damn ring will like fly across the room. So I had to take it off, which is okay. It's, a sign that I'm doing this thing. And I put it in my jewelry box. And so I'm waiting. I'm very close to being able to put it on my middle finger. So that's one thing I've noticed. So it's in safekeeping until then. And then I've been living, honestly, throughout these 2 months and probably during the pandemic in a messy bun. And I know you guys are seeing the best of me. Like, I know I look hot most days when I talk to you guys. It's mortifying. Sometimes I'll be like, why didn't I just brush my hair? But anyway, I've been living, thank you, in messy buns and leggings and sports bras. So I haven't been able to feel any difference in my clothing because everything started off so damn tight, like Spanx. But yesterday for my son's bridging ceremony, I put on clothes for the first time in a long time. I put on a pretty bra, not a sports bra, and a pretty top, not a sweatshirt, and not leggings. And my bra was like way too big. And the shirt was like, the shirt has honestly never fit me like that. Because I had never lost weight since I bought it. So it just draped really nicely. It didn't have any like, roly-poly-oly showing. And I'm just mostly noticing the consistency. That's a word that just, if you look up the antonym of consistency in the dictionary, it would be me. Like, I am the complete opposite of that word. And yet during this program, I have showed myself what consistency is for me. Like, what does it look like, feel like, taste like, in regards to water, exercise, and not cheating. Because I've done a diet consistently, but I always cheat, like a lick, a bite, a taste along the way. This is like legit. No, you can't lick the spoon of the peanut butter. No, you can't, blah, 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 as Carmen would say. So yeah, and my husband says I seem less anxious because I struggle with anxiety. And he said that I seem just more like level and peaceful and not as like nervous about things.
That's awesome. Because you can't put a price on your inner well-being. The outer stuff is all a good result too, but when your inner self begins to feel more peace, there's just not a price tag you can put on that. So that's amazing. Denise.
I was sitting here thinking, trying to think what I was going to say. I would say like definitely yesterday was probably the biggest thing I noticed was when I put those ski pants on, in regards to clothing wise. I had bought those ski pants this winter because the ones that I owned had already for the last year felt, or even more than that, felt like they were just way too big. I put them on and because they were sort of like a stretchy pant that I bought because I always had trouble closing my waist. My waist was always my issue with ski pants. It didn't matter what ski pant size I bought. It was like the buttons never wanted to close or stay closed. And so I bought this other pair one time that were like really stretchy, but the pants, like you could literally pull them this far away from my thigh. They were just way too big on my legs. And I always felt so frumpy in them and just disgusting. And so this winter I was like, well, you know what? I'm starting this journey. I'm going to buy myself some brand name Columbia ski pants. Even though they were still 3X, I was like, I want to wear these. And I bought them and I was hoping they would fit I could get them on, but the buttons again were the issue. And I was like, but whatever, I'm going to get there. And yesterday I was thinking about putting on my ski pants to go outside for a walk. And I was like, hey, maybe I should try my new pants again. Cause I have lost like 25 pounds. Like I should be able to try these on. So my husband and my parents were there and they were like, yeah, do it, try them on. So, and they were all watching me, and I had on sweatpants that were thicker than the last time I tried these pants on. And I was like, oh, I don't know if this will be accurate, but okay, whatever. And I start putting them up, and just as I was about ready to put them together, everyone was like watching, and they were like, oh, look, they close. And we were all like celebrating. It was just the funniest thing. But everyone was like cheering me on, going, that's so awesome, Denise. Like, wow, I'm so proud of you. Like, and I hadn't even taken the tags off these pants yet. So my mom comes up and she rips the tags off, and and I felt like sexy in them. Like, I felt like, wow, I can wear regular people's ski pants. I don't have to wear these gigantic, no name, whatever. It was just, yeah, it was a weird but yet exciting moment. And at the same time, I'd also bought a new jacket, and I could zipper it, but it was really uncomfortable. And I noticed yesterday I could zipper that together with the pants, and they both were like super comfortable. And my pants didn't pop open the entire walk, they stay closed. So for me, that was just absolutely huge. When I look in the mirror or when I'm working out, I can start to see muscle starting to bulge, which is amazing. Like, I can actually see shape forming on my body again. And I can see like my calves and my thighs, like there seems to be a defining line a little bit more. And so that's pretty exciting. To actually see all this hard work is paying off. Even though there's a lot of flab that's jiggling, I can still see there's something growing underneath it. So that's pretty cool.
All right, Shane, you're up, buddy.
All right. Yes. So since January 4th, I'm down 48 pounds, which is pretty cool. I was really hoping to see that 50. I'm not stomping on my sprouts. I'm just saying, like, I thought I was going to hit it today. Yeah. So getting off the glipizide diabetic medicine was a huge deal. I was really frustrated that I had to go on it because I take a different diabetes medicine, metformin. But when the doctor told me, okay, we're going to start you on this, because I kept telling her, oh, I'm going to start working out. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this, which I'm sure a lot of diabetics do. And she hears it all the time. But when I wasn't producing the results, she's like, okay, I think we should start you on this medicine. I was like, I finally gave up and said, okay, let's do it. If that's what I need. And I was only on it for maybe a month because we started this, and I changed my ways. And it's been really awesome. I talked to her and she's like, yeah, you're doing great. Go ahead and get off it. So that was extremely pleasing to me. And now, I mean, my blood sugars have been completely under control. I've tested my blood sugars more probably since I started this than I was doing before, because I'm excited to see the numbers now. Before I knew they were going to be bad. I just knew it. Oh, but yeah, I had, I think, 7 dress shirts, right around there, that I was just recycling every week, wearing most of the shirts every single week. And I'm okay with that. I've never, like I said, never been super into fashion. I just wanted to look presentable, right? But now that I'm losing weight, some of those shirts are getting a little big, and there's a lot of shirts that I'm able to wear that I've just had on the hanger that I haven't been able to wear in a long time. And I walk into the clinic and some of the ladies are like, oh, new shirt? No, but first time in a long time. And that always feels good, right? So now, geez, I don't know. I'm probably up to at least a dozen shirts that I can wear, which is super nice. Starting to fit into some pants that we had gotten and I wore like once, and they were too tight, and they were like my backup pants for when we forget to do laundry or something. But now those are starting to fit without the pockets stretching. If you put on those pants and you see the whites of the pockets, they're a little bit too tight. Yeah, that's where I was, but now I'm not seeing that, so that's pretty awesome. I was telling the story yesterday. You guys heard about the work jeans. Yeah, I've had some jeans that I've been wearing for a while, and at one point they were pretty tight, and I was sucking in to button them up. And now they're at least 4 sizes too big. I mean, they're they're falling down. I've got to cinch my belt up as tight as I can, and I've already put I think two holes in my belt, and now I need another one. Like, I can tell it's getting to that point. So it's I mean, it all feels nice. Like, it feels good. Some days I feel like when I'm wearing my older shirts at the clinic or something, like, if they just look way too big, and I feel like that frumpy look, like the clothes are just too big. So I haven't felt that in a very long time.
So the biggest change you have made since you started, or revelation, or whatever you want to call it.
I'm a snacker, and I still want to, but I don't. And it's just I'm now aware of how much I would just put into my mouth, and unthinking, unknowingly, that I was just numbingly eating, and I don't do that anymore. So I stick to my plan.
All of us, me included, are, if you look at us in the beginning, we were kind of like defeated. Now our attitudes are like, we come in like a boss. Like, everyone's like, oh, I did this, I did that. And I think that's pretty cool. As far as clothing, my clothing is definitely looser. My sports bra that is like the bulletproof vest that I needed 2 kids to get on. Now I need just 1 kid, and it's zipping up pretty good. So I'm looking forward to, it's pretty sad when it's a cardio day and I have to wake my child up to get my bra on so I don't get hurt. And then I'm definitely much more flexible. I'm still not a fan of the yoga. No. But when she tells me to do stuff, I'm like, wow, I'm really down here. So yeah.
That's incredible. I'm just imagining your 2 daughters pulling.
Mm-hmm.
You're just standing.
Mom, push in. Okay. Oh God, it's not good.
My mindset, totally different, and I lost a lot of weight before, but my mindset wasn't where it is this time. And I have my struggles, but it's so there. I want this so bad this time, and I want to stay there this time. And before, when I lost all the weight, my goal was different. And it wasn't necessarily my choice. I think more people believed in me than I believed in me, because I always had the encouragement and everything else. And this time I believe in me. This time I know that I can do it. So that's been my biggest change is the way I think about me. Yeah.
The biggest change you've made since you started, either mindset or physically or anything like that?
Well, be 2 things. One is just working out every day and not and looking forward, like I can't. Okay, so that's a huge mindset. I haven't worked out in years. The bigger one is the way I look at food. I think, I think my Fitness Pal was good for me, probably to a certain point, because I'm looking at every single calorie, and I'm looking at every calorie I just throw in my mouth. Like the other night, my son was eating these corn chips. Okay. And then, like, how many chips was it? It was like 170 calories. 11 chips.
Oh, 7.
7 chips. I would go to the Mexican restaurant and eat the whole basket, the whole thing. And I'm thinking that was, and then they go, you like more chips? I'm like, yeah. And then I'd eat this, it was called like the El Grande burrito or some crazy thing. So it had to have been like a 4,000 calorie dinner. And I'm just like, this is so I look at every calorie, and even when I go to the store, we go down these aisles. I'm like, oh my gosh, Peggy and I went grocery shopping yesterday, and I would, if I had gone shopping with her just a few months ago and bought that cart of food, I'd be like, okay, what am I going to eat now?
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. And my taste has changed, where I actually like it, where she would make it and I'd try, you got to try it. It's so good. And I just didn't like it because I was so used to that rich, fatty food, and I didn't taste the flavor in the other foods with seasonings and different things like that. So food is
Greek yogurt.
Oh, I hated Greek yogurt. I don't know why I hated Greek yogurt. I love Greek yogurt now. I thought the texture was weird, and I don't know.
Just since last Wednesday.
Yeah, I wouldn't even try it. And I'm like, all right, I'll try it again. I'm like, oh, I like this. So food has just ruled me for such a long time. And the exercise, I always liked that. I did not like eating healthy. So I actually like it now. So that's the biggest change.
Just being more aware. I'm just more aware of all the nuances of like when people make comments. Your message today was incredibly on time. When people make comments that would otherwise have gotten in my head, I'm just like, wonder what was going on in your world today. Like, it's not mine. I don't have to put it in my pocket and take it with me. It was your comment. It was your issue. And yeah, I don't know how to explain that really any better. It's just, I'm just being more aware of all the things that usually affect me and not like putting body armor around myself. In my mind, my heart, my soul has like, I'm like a little bit like a bulldog or a pit bull right now. And if you do anything to get into my head, my heart, my body, and my way of my workout, I'm like, you're going to have to go make yourself a sandwich. This is workout time. Don't come down here. I'm working out. I'm praying. I need more time. Like, I'm standing up for me. It's cool.
That's really cool. You're taking control.
I stop acting like a victim. Like, oh, I don't have time. I've got so many things to do. Everybody needs me. It's like, tell them no. It's my time.
16.2 pounds away for Wonderland.
I'm coming.
One of the biggest things I've noticed starting this challenge is when I would go through emotional situations with family, or there'd be some heightened situations where I was involved in them, and always felt like I had to somehow help the situation. I would come home super exhausted, emotionally drained, and all I'd want to do is order in pizza, sit on the couch and just eat and snack. And that was just my immediate go-to way of coping. And my husband commented yesterday, he says, what the biggest thing I've noticed in you in the last while is that when we went through some tough stuff this week, he said, the way you handled it is like nothing I've ever seen. You literally didn't carry that. And you were able to just move forward and say, that's their laundry pile. I did what I could. And you were able to just move on. And to have my husband say that to me was just like, wow, so he's seeing this, because I have been sort of realizing that I was making those changes, but to have him notice it too was just confirming that I literally am changing the way I'm walking out my day-to-day life. Like I'm not letting other people sabotage me anymore. I'm taking control back. I'm allowing myself to take care of me for like the first time in years. And I'm not letting other people's thoughts and emotions and struggles define me in a way that I stay stuck. And that's probably, that's just, for me, it's just life-changing, absolutely life-changing.
Taking control of what I'm eating is huge. I was joking around with somebody the other day and they were saying like, oh man, carbs are what gets me, and I was like, I was like, for me, it was seafood. And they're like, seafood? And I said, yeah, I see food and I eat it. And um, that's totally changed. I've been taking pictures and little videos of all the snack food that comes into the clinic. I mean, we have people bring snacks all the time. The clinic manager brings snacks. Patients sometimes bring snacks because they're so thankful that the clinic's open, you know. And it's all the time. Like it's literally 3-4 days a week that they have sugary treats and baked goods and stuff like that. And it's just been so much. So instead of eating it, I've been taking a picture of it, and I've been reporting it to the group and be like, hey guys, look at this. I'm not going to do it. And it's accountability for me, because if I tell you I'm not going to do it, then I won't do it. So it's been really good. I know that the more I resist, the bigger that muscle gets. I'm strengthening that muscle. And that's one of the reasons I've been walking through the candy aisle and taking videos for the group, is because I'm walking through going like, yeah, I used to grab that by the handfuls, and I'm not doing it anymore. Anyway, so that's probably the biggest thing, having that self-control. It feels really good. I never needed all that stuff. I didn't actually want some of that food. I felt like it was there and I needed to grab it. It's kind of a weird feeling, right? And I talked the other day about, I went to the gas station, and that's been a trigger point for me forever. And I went in and I instantly felt this heaviness fall on me. And I was looking, I'm like, what am I going to get? It wasn't, should I get anything? It's what am I going to get? Am I going to get the hot food? Am I going to get the candy aisle? Am I going to get the donuts or the baked goods aisle, or the munchies? You know, I always went for munchies. And I've been able to resist. I've been there lots of times, and the cloud that comes over me has lessened a lot. I went in last night just to pay for gas, and I didn't even look around at all. I just went straight to the cash register, paid for my gas, and got out of there, and I didn't even feel tempted. And I was like, that's incredible. So anyway, that's definitely the biggest change in me. I'm no longer on the seafood diet.
The seafood diet, Shane Short. That is awesome. Good job, dude. So, like getting off of medication, like how good did that feel? Your pants falling down, although part of it's like annoying. It feels so good to have your pants actually falling down instead of being afraid you're gonna rip them if you bend over.
Right.
So we are coming into week 7. We're coming into week 7. And here's what I want to say to you coming into week 7. As you are fitting into new clothes, as you are drilling holes in your belts, as you are getting off of medications, as you are shopping in your closets and just feeling more energetic and putting your boots on without feeling like you're going to die from air deprivation. These are huge milestones, and they need to be celebrated. But it's a mini celebration. So this is not the time to camp out in celebrations. This is not the time to camp out in my underwear is falling down, my pants are falling down. It's like, yes, I got into these new clothes. What's next? So it's taking the time to pause and celebrate, but making sure that it's just a pause and it's not a camp out. Making sure it's just a momentary, woo, back to work. We are in the focus phase. We are keeping our head down. We are staying focused. We are on the way to our goal, okay? And so many times people get derailed because they camp out at a milestone. They camp out at a new size. They camp out at a new belt hole. They camp out at a getting off of a medicine. We're not doing that. We are going to wait to celebrate. We're gonna pause and do a mini celebration, but we are going to hold off the big celebration until we cross the finish line together. And so I'm so proud of you. 199.4 pounds lost in the past 6 weeks. There are people watching that are being inspired by the changes, by the obstacles, by the hurdles you're hurdling, by the obstacles that have stopped you in the past that are no longer stopping you today. And so I just want you to know that. Yes, we're in here, and sometimes we're in our own little bubble that we've created, which is amazing, but it's having a ripple effect on the people that you know, the people around you, and people from around the world that you don't even know. that have seen what you're doing. And so good job to you. And yeah, very proud of you.
Seven people, 6 weeks, 199.4 pounds lost. We were like so close to the 200-pound mark. That's okay. I know we'll cross over it next week. Freaking, if that doesn't just make you go, wow, I don't know what will. So crazy. And you heard in the episode them talk about the physical changes that have happened. The holes being drilled in belts, the pants falling down, the bras not fitting, and there was so many more physical changes. Andy's boots that he couldn't get on, and now they just go on like butter. And so you heard those things. But it's not just about the physical changes. It's also about the mental, the emotional, the spiritual changes that are also happening inside of them. What's happening here, the confidence that's growing, how as they take control of their health, it's having a trickle effect in other areas of their life, how their journey is impacting their family journey, their family's journey. Denise's daughter, Shaylee, who's been doing this with her mom, has lost 14 pounds in the past 6 weeks since we started. Seeing her inside of our group put on a pair of pants that she has not been able to fit into, seeing her confidence grow, and that was all a direct result of her mother saying yes, her mother's example, her mother being willing to do the hard things. And for those of you that have been here with us from the beginning, who have been pressing the like button every week, sharing the video on your social media platform, thank you so much for doing that. For those of you that are here for the first time, I want to invite you back with us next week. We're here every Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with a brand new episode of The Biggest Transformation. Down in the comments, make sure to encourage the cast. Listen, weight loss is simple, but it takes work. And so your encouragement means the world to them. So thank you so much for watching. We will see you next Wednesday, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bye.